Hi, everyone. I'm here 3 minutes late. I did it. It's only the second time that I've been live using StreamYard. We are live using StreamYard right now. So just was making sure everything looked all good, and it looks like live viewer comments is on. If you are watching this via Facebook Live, please post a comment because I am unable to see any comments. If you are watching this via YouTube, go ahead and post a comment too. Say I'm here, so I can make sure that we can see. There we go. All right, we're connected. Hi, hi, hi. Okay, great. We can see the comments. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining. I was a few minutes late trying to get all this technology figured out, but I'm here. You guys are all here. And pretty soon I'm going to have some guests be joining us as well. So stay tuned for that. All right, guys. Last time I did this, I set my intention was to be done in 45 minutes and it took me an hour and a half. So I'm going to try to keep it shorter this time, although I say that all the time and it always goes over. So I'm going to dive right into the slideshow so we can get this show on the road. Thanks, everybody, for being here. I'm going to dive right in. We're going to talk about my authentic life blueprint, and we're going to go over the strategy that we go through in this program and what it takes to really start creating your most authentic life. Okay, sound good, everybody? Awesome. All right. So I'm going to share my screen, and this is all going to go just perfect. Okay, let's see. All right. Voila. I did it. If you can see, yes, you can. You can see it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're diving right in. So, stepping into your most authentic life. What does this mean? It means moving into total alignment and authenticity, releasing stored trauma, gaining clarity and confidence, and manifesting your dream life using breath work. All right. So, part of the strategy that I use within the Authentic Life Blueprint is 3 phases. The first phase is the roots, which is really working within your lower energetic chakra system, being in your body, in your 3D body, releasing stored, stuck energy and trauma, recognizing who the default self is and how she was born, building your confidence, your willpower and boundaries, radical responsibility, which is my favorite thing to talk about, and being comfortable and confident in your body, which is huge. The roots is usually the stuff that nobody wants to deal with. They want to go straight to the branches and don't have a solid structure. So they just keep going back to the branches, not knowing why the heck it's not working. Well, it's because they never worked on the roots, which is why I do that as the first phase of this program. After we've moved through the roots, only after do we move on to the branches. And the branches is really working within your upper energetic chakra system, connecting to your source, whatever that is for you, the 5D, what I call the 5D, listening to your intuition, the power of surrender, huge, building your manifestation muscle, creating a vision of your future, and using your voice to step into your power. And then the last phase is alignment, because that's what this course is all about, getting into alignment and authenticity. And this is working within your heart center, unconditional self-love and worthiness, embodying passion and purpose, and truly stepping into your dream life. So this webinar is value packed. Please turn off all distractions. Go put a show on for the kids. Go put a show on for your husband. Go put a show on for the dogs. Give this time to you to really get rid of all distractions and give me your full focus and attention. So, who is all in to learn more? Let's see. Let's see if I can be so good that I can read the comments at the same time I'm sharing this screen. Let's see if I'm that good. I am that good. Yay, me. Finally got on. Awesome. All right, I can still see the comments and share my slideshow. I'm really getting this, you guys. I'm really getting good at this technology. Awesome. Howdy from near Seattle. Hello, Jill. Julie. Hi, Julie. You're on. Awesome. Hi, Ninj. Hi, Estelle. Awesome. Welcome, guys. Okay. So it sounds like you guys are all in. So let's go. All right. So many women who are on a spiritual path. Does that look familiar to you guys? Because I know I've definitely been in that state before. So, what does that feel like? Feeling stuck and frustrated, trying to just do the work, understand the concepts, but lack the application. You read all the books, you go to all the retreats while the life continues to stay the same. Constantly looking to healers to heal them, wanting to go out of the body, but find it hard to be in the body. Always questioning themselves, wondering if they're doing it right, and lack a guide or blueprint to turn information into transformation. I know that was me early on in my spiritual path. But authentic women that are in full alignment, so only women that are in full authenticity and alignment after releasing stored, stuck energy and trauma in the body, releasing limiting beliefs, gaining clarity and confidence, are comfortable in their body and know how to balance both the 3D and the 5D, are living to their fullest potential, turning information into transformation and manifesting their dream life on autopilot. So, settle in, stick around if you are any of these. If you're frustrated, stuck, or stagnant with your current meditation or law of attraction practice and you're ready to level up, you're ready to take it up a notch. If you've gone to many workshops, retreats, hired all the healers, all the coaches, read all the books, but still struggling to implement and integrate the change into your life, you feel blocked within your energetic chakra system, you know that you have stored trauma within your body and have tried many things to release it, but nothing has seemed to shift it. You feel stuck and that maybe manifestation just doesn't work for you. You don't know how to marry the 3D and the 5D so that you can create lasting transformation in your life. I see that as the most common theme in the people I work with. Wanting to make changes, but are afraid of what those around you will think. Huge one. Committed to doing the hard things to get out of your Groundhog Day. That's a huge one. When I talk to women, I always want to make sure before even mentioning what my course is that they are committed, because this isn't an easy pill. It's not a quick fix. Know the spiritual concepts, but are looking for a step-by-step guide for integration. You want to make an impact in the world. You are ready to be a leader and manifest your most authentic life. So you can leave this training now. I'll save you the time and the energy if you only want to learn how to have the mystical experiences, but not how to actually embody them. If you want to complain about where your life is, but you aren't willing to try something different to change it. You aren't serious or committed to making the changes necessary. As I talked about, you think you need only the science or only the magic to create transformation. You think you know everything there is to know about breath work, spiritual concepts, what works and what doesn't. How's that working for you? That's what I always say. Aren't willing to be the student with a curious outlook, and you just want to stay stuck in your story. Or get mad when I offer you this 45-minute free training of the exact system that has helped me literally manifest everything in my life, and then complain when I make you an offer for an exclusive opportunity to work with me, because I will be doing that. So stay until the end for any Q&A. So as we go through the slideshow, please write down any questions that may come up through the process. And then at the end, we can put them in the comments if there's enough time left. And I will answer them for you. Before we dive into the tactics, here's a little history on what qualifies me to deliver this life-changing information. So, where'd we go? See, just when I thought I was really, really good, I started my journey when I picked up a book called You Are the Placebo by Dr. Joe Dispenza. At the time, I was living in North Idaho in a town of 2,500 people in an extremely dysfunctional marriage. I had a 10-year secret pain pill addiction nobody knew anything about. I had no self-confidence. I promised you, you can see in my pictures. I was far from living an authentic life, literally. And I woke up every morning knowing that there had to be more to life. I stayed busy 100% of the time, taking care of others and trying to make my life look good on the outside, while in the inside, I felt I was slowly dying. I was literally living in the passenger seat of my own life. I woke up every morning knowing that I was not living my purpose, knowing that I was not living the life I was supposed to be living, and just thinking, this is the cards I dealt. this is what I'm stuck with until maybe perhaps the kids get older and maybe then I can start living my life. I started meditating after reading the book and dove down the rabbit hole of spirituality and personal development. I was doing daily practices even when I didn't feel like it and was determined to have what somebody called a mystical experience and thought that that would magically change my life if that could just happen to me. It finally did at my first advanced meditation retreat that shifted me profoundly. So much so I was able to leave the marriage, quit the pain pill addiction cold turkey, and for the first time in my life, feel real, actual love for myself. I know everybody talks about self love all the time, but it was the first time in my life I actually felt that in my body, experienced what that felt like. It was more than just talking about it or around it. I actually knew what that meant. Shortly after, I met the love of my life and we began a life together, embracing this 5D work in our everyday lives. And he is sitting with me here right now and wants to be known. So, in the beginning, I still had a really hard time being in my body. I didn't want any responsibility and I definitely did not feel grounded at all. I was very happy staying up in what I call the upper chakra system and having, getting all the opportunities to go out of my body while still not feeling comfortable or grounded in my body. The last thing that I noticed that happened right away, as soon as all of this amazing mystical stuff was, I started to not enjoy sex with this man that I loved with every ounce of my being. I knew he loved me with every ounce of his being, but I was too busy wanting to be out there, as I'll call in the 5D, than wanting to be in here in the 3D until I had my first massive trauma release after a friend telling me about breath work. I didn't know what it was at the time, but I knew something major had shifted and I definitely needed to do more. So I went home. My friend had told me about a Wim Hof retreat actually that he had been at. I had never heard of breath work beyond the very specific breath work technique I was learning in the meditation retreats. And my friend told me that, how powerful this breath work was. And he started telling me just a little bit about it. And in that workshop, I actually had a very big trauma release, unknowing to me what it was. So I went home because that's how I am. I'm like a dog on a bone when I have my mind made up about something. And I literally started researching everything I could find about breath work, holotropic breath work, transformational breath work, Wim Hof breath work, rebirthing breath work, everything I could get my hands on, which eventually led me to soma breath work. I fell in love with the concepts right away and was astounded at what could happen within my body and mind by practicing it daily. It really did feel like the missing piece to bridge what I called the 3D and 5D worlds. I was able to feel comfortable and grounded in my body. After another big energetic release, I was finally able to enjoy sex with my partner. I felt completely aligned within myself and my mission in this world, and that was to help others create that same amazing dream life. So I literally started from 0. Like, I tell people this all the time. What you see now on my social media or anything else is not who I was 5 years ago. It's not who my default self was. I created this person that I am today through this journey that I've gone through in the last 5 years. I started with no prior experience with meditation, breath work, spirituality, or any personal development concepts. No one around me was doing what I was doing. Trust me, most thought I had gone crazy or joined a cult. And when I did decide to finally fundamentally shift my life, I lost many relationships with my friends and family, which is why I'm so freaking passionate about sharing the blueprint that literally created my dream life and most authentic self. That's the biggest piece of the puzzle because I want to be the guide for you that I never had. And I do want to say that I don't want to scare people off when I talk about losing these relationships with friends and family because now, 5 years later, many of them have come full circle. And many of these relationships that I lost with my family members have come back full circle. And I have deeper, more profound relationships with them than I ever had because I became more deeper and profound in my own life. And I knew who I was for the first time in my life. I knew how to create boundaries. I knew the energy I did and didn't want in my life. And so I really wanted to make a point to say that even though it seems sometimes like everything's falling apart, you have to keep going in order for it to come full circle. So that took me from 0 to the life that I live now. As you can see, I don't post these pictures to go, oh, wow, look at me. I post these pictures so you can understand and know that I am no different than you, that this is totally and completely possible for you, and that I authentically live this life. I'm living my dream in all areas of my life and finally making an impact, which is the most important thing to me. And I'm watching others experience the same results. Here's two testimonials from two gals that are actually in the Authentic Life Blueprint right now. As a current member, I can share that this is without a doubt one of the best investments I've made in myself. M is the real deal. I'm a current member too. I could never release any stuck, dense emotions prior to this group. I found the missing piece, gone further here in week 5 than anywhere. M's program is it. It's what you're looking for and what you want. And I will also add, because Gabriel sent me another one, and I wanted to share that. She said, I've invested tens of thousands of dollars in coaching. Being I am a coach myself, I value investing in myself. I can say that M's program is worth far more than I paid for it. It's hands down one of the best things I've ever invested in, because it's helped me get to the absolute root of everything that's held me back from living my life in a truly authentic way. I'm learning to step into my power, and I'm already forever changed. Here's some other testimonials just from doing the breath work with me and working with me. Wowee, my whole head is still wild. Can't describe it. I really can't. No words except thank you. Thought I would post a video here to show you all about how Beyond Limits course really gave me the push I needed to stick to my authentic self, to stick to my power. I hope it can inspire some of you who are curious. Beyond Limits has put me on a rocket launching pad, and I've been flying since January, faster than I have ever done previously in all that search for myself. This stuff works because I work. Thank you, M. Today convinced to start daily breath work. Well, Miss M, shit hit the fan again, and your breath work cleared all the shit that was in Ellie's fucking way. I knew I needed your breath work ceremony to come back into my power, but whoa, had no idea that I would actually be empowered enough to break it off with my boyfriend at the end of the night. I feel like I simply surrendered into your breath work and asked the universe just to give me the strength and lead me to the best way of ending this. I did not expect it to unfold within hours. I'm mind blown. Thank you. I learned a technique that works fast and effectively to change my state and shake off negative energy to restart the day. I found breathwork was very beneficial for digestion and made it easy to understand how to properly implement breathwork into daily life, and clearly explained all the great health benefits. I strongly recommend her course. So, with all of that being said, are you ready to do the same? Give me a ready in the chat. By having this blueprint at your fingertips, imagine where you could be in 1 year. Consider this your fast pass. Okay, so let's see in the chat. I'm gonna really use my technological skills here, and I'm gonna look in the chat. Let's see, who do we got? I can't watch it right now. Hope we possibly, yes, this will be on my Facebook page, so you can rewatch it, as well as our YouTube channel. Bernie, hi, I was just thinking of you earlier. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Boundaries, yes, that's a big one you have to learn. Ready, integration of 3D, 5D. Let's go. My New Year's resolution, yes, ready. Awesome. Okay, guys, everybody's ready. So let's dive into the strategy. So the strategy, and this is twofold because of the journey, my own personal journey, my own hero's journey of what I've been through, and how, and really the second phase of my journey, I didn't really see anybody out there that was really combining what I call the 3D and the 5D. So I would see a lot of spiritual teachings, but it seemed like they were all in the upper chakra system. They were all about having mystical experiences, working with energy, going out of your body, and yet nothing to actually put in your body. And then I follow a lot of personal development people like Tony Robbins, Rachel Hollis, Sarah Blakely. I was just watching her earlier today. My coach and mentor, Sunny Lenarduzzi, but yet they were missing the spiritual aspect. They were all about the doing and not the being, and the spiritual aspect was all about the being and none of the doing. And I really did not see anybody out there that was blending these two. And I found that in my own journey, that's exactly what I had to do to fully and completely step into my most authentic version of me and my most authentic life, to where I can wake up every day and I am in the driver's seat. I get to choose my reality every single morning. I get to choose my life every single day. And it was only because I really learned how to blend these two. And breath work really was that missing piece, because breath work really put me into my body while still being in the 5D. But then the missing piece was the action steps, aligned action, inspired action. And so I would see all these people go to all these workshops and that they would go home and nothing would change in their life because they were so stuck in the upper chakra system. They couldn't be in their body to actually take the action steps. So that's why I was so passionate about creating something that really embodied both of them. I knew that if people weren't learning how to get to the roots, the real deep roots, the default self, that everything they did, all the workshops, all the books wouldn't matter because they would still be going back into their life as the default self. And that's why I created the strategies, working with the breath work and then aligned action steps, which is what equals transformation. So why breath work? As opposed to only doing meditation, which quiets your mind, breath work actually engages the body. It works on all levels, and there's no one size fits all. You can literally use your breath in so many different ways to experience so many different results, as the girls have found out in the Authentic Life Blueprint, all the way from healing physical issues, anxiety, digestion problems, sleeping disorders, reducing blood pressure, autoimmune diseases, to increasing creativity, creating flow states, releasing stored trauma and blockages, reprogramming your subconscious mind, opening up your chakra system, manifestation, all the way to DMT like experiences and deeply profound spiritual awakenings, as has happened with me on many occasions. And guess what? Breath work is yours. Your breath is yours and it's free. And you can literally use it at any time of the day to change your state, to push past fear, to change your energy, and to ultimately change your life. It's your number one tool you have at your disposal. It was just Scott had his coaching call yesterday for his program, the Healing Blueprint. And, that's exactly what we were talking about is once you become aware of your default self, what do you have to do to change it or to change your state? And the biggest tool you have is your breath in that moment to calm your sympathetic nervous system, to calm those chemicals of fight or flight. And when you do that, you can actually make a different choice. And by making that different choice, you're ultimately changing your life. So the four breath work techniques that I teach within the Soma model and in my course are rhythmic belly breathing. That's the first basic thing that I learned and really what allowed me to have this profound release and trauma release for my body. It's actually how we should all be breathing on a daily basis, but nobody's ever taught that. And then the Mula Bandha, which is the pelvic floor, which is engaging the pelvic floor in your root to move with the really dense energy in your energetic body. Breath retention, which is holding your breath on the exhale, and heart coherent breathing. The magic really comes in from using a combination of all of those four techniques in different ways. So here's some more of what people were saying. Oh my God, this breath work. It was truly like nothing I've ever experienced. I've gone deep into some amazing meditations before. I felt tremendous energy moving through my body. There was a palpable sense that I was releasing exactly what I needed to be cleared without any conscious thought effort at all. When I fully surrendered to the force moving within, through, and all around me, I actually felt my empowered self, as I'm now calling her, come in and expand through the energetic space that I just opened up in my energy field. I can only describe this as absolutely phenomenal. There really are no words. At that moment, I was literally weeping with such an overwhelming sense of joy and relief and release. I love that I can do a breathwork session in place of a meditation and feel like I've gone just as deep. It's just another tool to learn about myself. I've never found anything better than breathwork to get to sleep at night. I think everyone, including children, need to learn this, which they are. I have a family that shows up at almost every single free breathwork ceremony I do every other week, and their 12-year-old twins are almost always there doing the full-on breathwork ceremony, and I love it. It inspires me. My biggest takeaway is that the power I have over my body is limitless, and that is exciting to experience. Thank you, Em. I keep sharing this because her breathwork classes are fabulous and literally life and body changing in all the best ways. I loved it. I practice it every single day. I've now not only experienced energy moving through me as a result of the breathwork like never before, but more importantly, I'm no longer resisting it, and I wake up every day looking forward to what I will experience. So back to the strategy once again, breath action steps. That is what creates lasting transformation, not a quick fix, not an easy pass, but lasting transformation, deep-rooted transformation. So just to give you guys an idea, I have a lot of people ask me, well, what's the difference between 3D and 5D? I don't know what that is. So you can think of 3D as three-dimensional reality. It's the world we see, taste, touch, feel, and smell. It's matter. It's everything you see in front of you. It's denseness, Newtonian physics. what we perceive to be our physical reality, everything that you experience with your senses. The mind and body hide and control your inner soul when you get too stuck in the dense 3D and you forget about 5D. 5D is just fifth dimensional reality. It's the world of frequency, of energy. There's no matter in it. It's a reality of only awareness and creation. It's access to higher and higher frequencies, the highest obviously being source, oneness, no separation, whatever you call that. Literally, you can close your eyes. And the moment you close your eyes and just kind of be in that blackness, that's 5D. You're not seeing anything matter. You're just experiencing energy and frequency. And the deeper you can go into that blackness, the deeper you can go into 5D, which is exactly what I teach within the blueprint. So I wanted to talk about the chakra system because that's what we use as our map, as our guide. As we go through the blueprint, we go through the chakra system. So I know it can sound a little woo-woo and out there. I thought the same exact thing until I started diving deep into each of these individual chakras and the impact they have in our life. So as you can see, there's a picture of the main chakras that go over. If you look at this of consciousness, I use this a lot within the blueprint. You can see how the lower, more dense emotions are denser frequencies. As you go up, you can overlay the chakra system over top of this map of consciousness, and you can see what each chakra really is all about. It's very similar to the speed of light, the light spectrum. And if you look at red, which starts at our root, it's a really long wavelength. It's very low frequency, very low energy. It's what roots you to the earth, which doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's a great thing once you learn how to open it and work with it, all the way up to the crown chakra, the seventh chakra. And it's really short wavelengths with me, which means it's a really high frequency. It's a really fast energy, which is exactly why when people stay stuck up in the crown chakra, of course they can't be grounded. They're not, they have to be able to work from this high energy and high frequency and then back down into this lower frequency and be able to move freely and openly between the two. So what is exactly the chakra system? It is our energetic system within our physical system, just like the frequencies in life that we can't see, that send text messages, that microwave food, and allow you to send a fax. From Wikipedia, the Sanskrit word for chakra, it means wheel or circle. Chakras are various focal points used in a variety of ancient meditation practices, collectively denominated as Tantra or the esoteric or inner traditions of Hinduism. They are the 7 wheels of energy in the body, starting from the crown of your head down to the base of your spine, and are commonly thought of as energy vortices, spiraling wheels of energy. The system originates from India as far back as 500 BC in ancient texts called Vedas, which are considered the most ancient scriptures of Hinduism. It is that wheel corresponds to specific organs within your body and have a physical, emotional, psychological, and spiritual effect on your life. In other words, these energy centers regulate all functions of your mind, body, and spirit, which is why we use them within the blueprint. You can think of the chakras as valves, either letting energy flow in or out. And if they are closed, energy cannot flow freely through them, and your well being will suffer. And you will feel it physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I promise you. When they are aligned and open, energy consistently flow freely. So then that what? You're moving into harmony and alignment. When you're in alignment, you can be in authenticity. The biggest mistake I see so many people make that begin their spiritual journey is that they only want to work within one of those systems. But you really do have to engage both to experience massive transformation in your life. So I did a little chart for you all to see. This is what can happen if we're just solely in one or solely in the other, and we can't learn to work between the two. So the 3D, you can't get rid of subconscious beliefs, you trapped stored energy and trauma within your physical body and your energetic body. You stay in the default mode, in the default self, not even knowing who the default self is. You struggle with manifestation. You cannot move out of your body. Most of the time, you're in a state of fight or flight, stress, anxious, overworked, all of the things. Then in the 5D, if you get too caught up in the 5D, you can also stay in default mode because you're not learning how to move and work with the body. You can't push past edges because you're not grounded in your body. You will continue to have the same behavior patterns. You'll struggle with relationships. You can't take action steps to move towards your vision, and you are not comfortable in your body. But here's the thing: if you learn how to use both and flow with both, you get to release the stored trauma, you get to change your brain, you get to change your body, you become a new person, literally connected to your source, whatever that is for you, balance and alignment, knowing how to walk the line between intention and surrender, which is huge in this work, confident, self love, authenticity, intuitive, and ultimately manifesting your dream life. So, as I talked about, the authentic life blueprint system is the roots, the 3D, plus the branches, the 5D. So, the roots is the lower chakra system, branches, upper chakra system, plus alignment is equal to your authentic life. So this is what I described as authentic life. This can be different for everybody, and I invite you all right now to write down what are some of the signs of your most authentic life. What does that description look like for you? What does your most authentic you and authentic life look like to you? To me, it's fully aligned energetically and physically. It's living your best life in all areas of your life. It's living as your truest self, being surrounded by those you consciously choose to be, who support the highest version of you, not just being around people you think you have to be, including family. Having boundaries, loving and appreciating your body, mastering manifestation, awareness, passion and purpose, abundant, using your voice, being the leader of your life, and living in your purpose. So, diving into the strategy, as I said, the roots is the lower chakra system. That's the 3D. The branches is the upper, the more spiritual chakras, they call them, and that's the 5D. And then the last one, obviously, is the heart. So the way that I go through this program is we start in the lower, and then we actually start at the highest one at the crown. We come down, and the last, as I said, is in the heart, because that is where we bring both of those worlds into alignment, and we are in full alignment within our energetic body and our physical body. And I included this picture because I think it's so awesome as a breathwork facilitator to look at trees, because that's kind of the outline that I use in this course is trees. And that's actually a picture of a lung. And look how freaking similar they are, which I thought was awesome. So, to dive in a little deeper, in phase one, we go through each lesson. We'll go through each chakra. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's weeks. I do this by lessons because it takes time to move into the person. You've been the same person your whole life. It's going to take time to move into the new person. So the first lesson is focused on the root chakra. It's becoming aware of the default self. That's the biggest one. Releasing the stuck, dense energy, working with pelvic floor exercises and pelvic floor within the breath work. And then we move into the sacral chakra, which is really working with your sexual energy, getting comfortable in your body, learning how to enjoy pleasure, letting go of fear. This works a lot with creativity, this energy of creativity. And then we move into the solar plexus, which is really has to do with your personal power. It's the seat of your personal power, your confidence. We use breath retention in this because it really works with pushing past your fear. It works with your willpower and with your boundaries. And then each of those lessons, there's a teaching, there's specific breathwork meditations that go with each of those, along with a guide and specific action steps to take. Because as I said, it's not just about being in the breath work, it's about the action steps that you have to take in alignment with each of those chakras as well. Then we move up to phase two. We start with the crown chakra. This is all about connecting to your source, higher wisdom, knowledge. We use open focus breathing in this chakra in this lesson. Then we move into the third eye, which is really working with your intuition, manifestation, visualization. We usually use a lot of multiple rounds of rhythmic breathing to get into a super high frequency state to allow for manifestation. And then we move into the throat chakra, which is, I say they're all my favorite, but the throat really is my favorite because you can use all of these things, work through all of these chakras. But if you don't learn to open and use your throat chakra, none of it will matter, because you have to be able to speak your truth. You have to be able to express yourself. You have to be able to take radical responsibility for your life, as well as vulnerability. And again, there's specific breathwork meditations that I use all four of those breathwork techniques, along with a guide and specific action steps to take with each lesson. The last phase is phase three. It's alignment, where we're focused on the heart chakra. And that is really where those two worlds meet, living with an open heart, heart coherent breathing, living in elevated emotions, gratitude, full empowerment, balance, grounded, self-love, self-trust, playful. So if you look at the impact of really focusing on the strategy and implementing this strategy, making an impact, your dream business or career, dream partnership, self-love, supportive and loving relationships, comfortable in your body and in your sexuality. So here's some things to keep in mind as I quickly went through that. It doesn't mean that you have to take giant steps tomorrow. In fact, that's the biggest thing when I have these phone conversations and discovery calls with women who are interested in the program. It doesn't mean that you're going to have to take these giant, huge leaps. I didn't for a long time. It's about the small wins that add up to the big wins. You have to create those small wins in the beginning to create some momentum and then celebrate them, because you won't have any evidence in the beginning that this is working. It takes time and it takes small wins. And I encourage you, and I encourage the women in the group all the time, to celebrate even the littlest of wins, to write them down, to video them, because even the little ones are usually always bigger than the bigger ones, because it's the little ones that build up to those. You don't have to lose everyone in your life. Like I talked about, for me, I did, but so many of those relationships have come full circle and they are better than I ever even imagined that they could be. So you don't have to lose everybody in your life in the process. It's a big thing. A big fear I hear of people is, I'm afraid to step into who I always know I should be, because I'm afraid of what that means for losing people in my life. And we really, really work with this throughout the blueprint. The other aspect is you can't help anyone else unless you're putting the mask on yourself first. Do the work in your own life, and then helping others will become a byproduct. The first thing that I actually say in the introduction of the program is you are not allowed to help or heal anyone while you are going through this process, because in order to even remotely help anyone, you've got to do it. You've got to do the work yourself, and it's a continuous process. It never ends. It's important to look at how far you have come, what your big dreams are, and what you're doing today that is leading you in that direction. You are your own healer. Nobody is going to save you but you. I remember after coming back from my very first meditation retreat, it was only a 2-day one, and I was, blown away. And I came back and I went in this Facebook group and I'm like, I am going to help women. I'm going to go heal the world and help all these women. And I remember a few of the gals in the group, they'd been in there for a while and they'd done a lot of work in their life and changed a lot of things. And they were like, whoa, 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 sister. Take a step back, take a breath, and you got to do the work in your life first. You're not ready, and you got to do it first. And that really impacted me. And so that really was my mission that first year or two, was just doing the work in my own life. I didn't even think about, coaching or doing anything like that until I really felt like I could say that, because I had stepped through hard things in my own life. So here's some more results of people working with me. At the same time, I'm excited. 2 times been feeling a lot of movement in root and root centers. Last night, I felt my root center moving so much so, almost as if I was going into orgasm. And now instead of pain, I have a knot in my throat. That energy is moving up. Lots of crying, difficult conversations, insight movements. Less fear, more trust. Guess I'm learning the meaning of letting go. For all, thank you. You know what? There's more. I love you, Em. Anyone else feel like they've shifted realities? Everything is so different. I'm on a high today. I'm grateful for that. Who knows what tomorrow will bring? Thank you. I'm totally aware that things are moving within me. I can feel it now. I'm on a roll. Really excited about moving on. I love transformation. Thanks to Beyond Limits. Forever grateful. I found my way back to myself. I've reestablished some good practices of exercise, breathwork, meditation, and healthy eating. I'm feeling more in the driver's seat of my life versus my bad habits, which lead to an unfulfilled self. A few mornings ago, my husband told me about a practice he'd heard about, which initially inspired a few responses. I breathed through my inner no and found a sense of courage, which led me to an inner yes. I stayed present. I've been lying here with tears rolling down the side of my face since the end of the workshop. My heart was blown wide open. How is it possible one can feel this much love? Let me see if I can put this into words. I found myself weightless. Every breath I took allowed light to flow through me. Gone was my sense of having a body. I could feel the expansiveness. I could see 360 degrees. I was the flowers, the trees. I was all of it. I could see the earth the size of a grapefruit. I was one with all of creation. My gal, my sister, Ninja. So this isn't theory. Until now, I've been working with my partner and best friend as a sort of family practice in our Beyond Limits course and our Freedom Project. Now I have moved into my own specialty. which is specific and targeted and effective in helping women release the stored, dense, stuck energy so that they can manifest their dream life just as I have done. The system is unlike any out there and may just be the missing piece to your puzzle, especially if you continue to struggle with trying to just do the work on your own. If you're thinking, I'm ready, where do I start? All you have to do is commit, focus, and take action, which you've already done by taking the time to be in this masterclass today. I just gave you my blueprint for success, but as I'm sure you can imagine, this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to moving out of frustration, seeing legitimate changes and wins in your life, gaining clarity, and ultimately moving from fear to freedom. So you have two options, basically. You can do it yourself, which, as you can see from the picture, I know that frustration of doing it yourself. I also know the results from following a proven success path. I believe in coaches. I used to hate that word. I hated it to describe myself, and now I use it as an empowering word because I know the impact of coaches in my own life. I know the impact of investing in myself and hiring people that are better at doing what I want to do, that know more than I know in that subject. And I've done it over and over and over again, and I always see amazing results. So, if you're smart and you decide to work with me, nothing is held back. No missing steps. You just need to follow my lead step by step. I'm not your savior, but I will give you a guide. The amazing community of women. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you guys, these women are freaking amazing and support you every step of the way. You don't have to do it alone anymore. You have support, you have a community. I'm on a mission to accelerate your growth, to remove the frustration and roadblocks, and offer you results that you can truly build a life on your own terms. It's exactly what I've done in my life, and I want to show you how to do the same. And that's why my authentic life blueprint includes. I've taken the entire process from start to finish and using breath work to release the stored trauma, using action steps to let go of the default self and limiting thoughts and beliefs that go with it, building self-confidence, willpower, your femininity, creating small wins to keep you moving in a forward direction, building a community of like-minded women supporting each other. Again, they're fucking awesome. And becoming a manifesting master and putting it all into this program. The biggest issue I see with the spiritual community, as I talked about in the personal development community, is there's so many courses out there. Oh my gosh, there's so many. Each of them only teaching one aspect of how to transform yourself in your life. There's Reiki to heal the energetic body, but it depends on someone else doing it for you, and it doesn't work within the physical body. Workshops and retreats that they give you this massive experience, but then no step-by-step guide for when you get back into your life. Mindset coaches that focus constantly on just pushing the ball instead of learning how to find the balance between the doing and the being, the action and the surrender. But no one out there right now bridges the two to put the power in your hands. And that's ultimately my biggest mission, is for you to understand that you have the power, nobody else, to create the life that you want to create. That is where this program fills in the blanks. But the better the fit, the better the results. Absolutely. I'm building a legacy business. I don't want just any client. I want the right clients. So here's how this process works. This course is for you if you, as I talked about in the beginning, if you're frustrated, if you feel like you're stagnant in your current meditation or law of attraction practice, and you're really ready to take it up a level. You've gone to tons of workshops, retreats, hired all the healers, read all the books, but you're still struggling to implement the change into your life. You feel blocked within your energetic chakra system. You know you have stored trauma within your body, and you've tried many things to release it. Nothing has quite shifted. You feel stuck, and that manifestation just doesn't work for you. You don't know how to marry the two, the 3D and the 5D, so you can actually create lasting change. You want to make changes, but are afraid of what those around you may think. You're committed to doing the hard things to get out of your Groundhog Day. You know the spiritual concepts, but you're looking for a step-by-step guide for integration. You want to make an impact in the world. You're ready to be a leader. This course is for you. If this sounds like you, if any of those things to describe you, then you're invited to schedule a call to potentially enroll in the Authentic Life Blueprint. I've set aside time in the next 5 days to talk to you and see if I can help and if this would be a good fit for both of us. The calls are usually around 30 minutes. The intention is to really understand your situation, where you want to go, and then really just honestly identify if we're a fit to work together inside of my program. I always brag about no pressure phone calls because it really is just about seeing if I feel like I'm able to help you, if I feel like we're a good fit to work together, because you have to resonate on an energetic level in order to work with a coach, I believe. I've taken a group of 11 women through this process, and I'm now opening it up to the public to begin next week. But remember, like I said, I'm not willing to work with just anyone. I only want those who are committed and ready for change. I'm actually really picky about the women that I bring into this group because it's my top priority to create a safe space, a safe container for change and transformation. So, as I said, the calls are vitally important for both parties involved. You want to make sure you resonate with me. I want to make sure I resonate with you. I want to make sure that this course is a fit for you because I would never want someone coming into this course that I don't feel like would actually be successful with the process. I don't want to create another course for someone to buy and put on their shelf and feel like they're going to do it later. I'm creating something that will make lasting change in your life. So you can schedule a call now to set up the discovery call. I know there's, probably going to be tons of questions. The best thing that you can do is schedule a call to answer all those questions so we can dive deeper. It gets difficult when doing it through Messenger or things like that. The best thing to do is to schedule a call, write down your questions, and we can go over them in a call. As I said, it's super no pressure. It's just figuring out if we're a right fit together. So there are many people on this masterclass. My schedule can only handle 3 calls a day, so don't wait. Here's what I know to be true. I would literally not be where I am today without investing and working with the people who were where I wanted to be and staying committed to the process. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of hours getting myself to where I am now. I believe in the process and I believe in working with coaches. Ask yourself this, where do you want to be 1 year from now? And more importantly, I think, is the bigger question is what will your life look like in 1 year from now if you don't do something different? All right. So schedule a call. What we're going to do now before we dive into questions is I actually have some guests that are on. So I am going to stop sharing. Oh, wowza. All right. We went through it. Hi from JJ. Bernie, tell JJ I said hello and give him a big fat kiss on the cheek for me and a big hug. Oh, awesome. 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 I believe that creating a safe space is one of my superpowers. Thank you, Bernie. I love that. Okay. So I am going to bring in, I have 2 here. I'm supposed to have, I'm not sure where the one is. Is she in the chat? I will have to reach out to her. Okay. So the first one that we are going to start with, let's see if I can do this so well because I'm so great at technology. Let's add these beautiful freaking women to the stream. Are you there? Can you guys hear me? Yeah? Awesome. Okay. So we are going to start with Miss Fireheart. And I love that you gals named yourself your future selves. Awesome. All right, Fireheart, you are unmuted, my dear. Fireheart is one of these 11 women in my group right now. There she is. There she heard me. She's here in my group right now. There she is. She heard me. She's here in my group right now. There she is. She heard me.
Guys, so do I need to mute myself?
Yes.
No,
there. Okay, good. Yeah, you had to mute the live because I could hear the live. Okay, you're here. All right, Gigs, you just hold on there for a second. All right. So, Miss Fireheart, these women. Okay. So Giggles has been with me for over a year. Fireheart and EP both joined me in my initial founders group of the Authentic Life Blueprint. They're freaking killing it. They are amazing freaking women. And I'm so happy that they chose to be here with me today. So Fireheart, if you want to speak first, my dear, and just anything that you want to share about how this program has been for you and any results you've noticed in your life and any to say anyone else thinking about joining. And you're nice and lit up.
Yeah. I'm getting there. Well, I was stuck for a long time in my life, stuck in my marriage, had no purpose, low self-esteem. I didn't feel worthy, and I had a chakra Bible that I was going through on my own, and I was just working through the chakras, and it was just soul destroying. And then talking of synchronicities, while I was going through it, we had a conversation, and it was like I was just led to this course, and when I saw what we've just been through just now, I was like, this is it. This is the magic. It's been absolutely amazing. We're only 6 weeks in, and it's just incredible. It's incredible.
Awesome.
It's all starting to work together. I'm releasing things. I'm more confident. I feel like I'm stepping into my part. I'm doing things that I never thought I would do. That's the biggest thing for me. I'm feeling more confident. I'm right out of my comfort zone. And one of the biggest things is the support group. These women are amazing. We're going through very similar experiences. We're helping each other. We're bigging each other up. It's just amazing. We're thinking of things that other girls, ladies are thinking of. That's like, oh, I never thought of that. Oh my God, that's really helped me. It just is amazing. It's changing my life so much.
I love you. You are rocking it. You are rocking it. You are doing so awesome. And so let me ask you this, Fireheart. Were you nervous to say yes? Were you nervous to come in? How did you feel right before you started? For those who are watching and thinking about it but are scared, which is common.
For me, there was no doubt before our even phone call. This presentation was enough for me. I was like, this is it. I had already been going through my chakras. I knew I was blocked. I knew I couldn't do it on my own. I'd been doing it for 3 years on my own. And then our phone call, that just nailed it. I think
Yeah.
before even the end of the conversation, I said, take me now, take me now.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was magical. It was, and I think if I remember correctly, there was a bunch of synchronicities like right after we got off the phone call.
Really? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, the registration plates had there was M and
Yeah.
EMHOL straight after the phone call. That's right.
Yeah, it was
It was
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah. Well, thank you. You look gorgeous. You're glowing. You look amazing. You're
Thank
doing
you.
great. Thank you, honey.
Thank you.
I will see
You're
you in about an hour on our call.
Yeah, wouldn't miss it for the
Awesome.
world.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, EP. Are you there?
I'm here. Hello, hello. Can you hear
Hi,
me?
honey. I can
Hi.
hear you.
Well, I felt the same as Fireheart when there were synchronicities that led me to even know about this class. I'm friends with Em and Scott, and I was interviewing Scott on my podcast one day, and Em was in the same room and heard me, and afterwards she goes, "Are you okay? You see what you did, and you called me out on it." And I was like, "Oh yeah." And that's when I realized I've been doing all this work, but this past almost 2 years now, what I realize now, my default self was flaring up in all areas of my life, my relationship, intimacy, my business, my own self-confidence. And then what really woke me up is getting a diagnosis in my body and realizing, all right, if those things didn't wake me up, then I need to take a look at if I'm really truly creating my reality, I have to take responsibility for that. Then I have to apply it because I knew that. I know,
Yeah.
if you're here, you probably know that, but are you really applying it? Are you really living that? Are you really being that? And that was a difference that I knew that I was not doing. And I knew that if I wanted to heal, what I'm going through this program is I have to be in my own power. If I'm not in my own power, no healer, not even myself, can make that change. Nothing. And that was one of the biggest things I've taken away from this course this far. And like Fireheart said, we're only like 5 weeks in. But things that I realized so far from this course is, I've gained a sense of myself back. I felt like there was this, I was into all this stuff, but I just felt like life and my default self really were just like Groundhog's Day pulling me down every single day. And and I knew this, but now I really see it. I can separate that awareness now very easily, even if I'm stuck in my default self. And like Monday was a really hard day for me. I couldn't shake it, but I allowed myself to be in that. And I wasn't scared to feel that because I knew it wasn't going to be there forever. I knew I was there. I had an awareness of it, which I knew that I could shift, I can heal and step into who I really am, which is Efi, my authentic self. And just to reiterate what Em said, there's no huge things you need to do right away of change. It's what matters is the base hits every single day. And I don't think I've ever journaled this much in my life. I'm a journaler, and every single day just writing down how I feel and gaining that awareness has changed so much in my life. Manifestations are starting to happen. I manifested like a free yoga mat the other day. And like my partner left his at another studio, and we went to the studio to buy a new one. And 2 hours later, I manifested the same exact money to pay for that. Just little things that you wouldn't think about that just are starting to come into my life. And I can see that this is just helping me continue to move forward. And not only that, but just the community. I've never been with this many strong, authentic, loving, supportive women ever. And I've been in a lot of programs. I've invested tens of thousands of dollars, but this is the real deal. And all it takes is just staying focused and building that awareness one moment at a time. And M's blueprint, bridging the 5D and the 3D with this community, we will help you get there.
I love it. You're making me cry. Efi, oh gosh, you just needed like the permission. Like I just needed to open the gate for you. That was it. And you're like, I'm freaking running. I'm on my horse and I'm running. It's been amazing to watch.
A unicorn, but yes.
Thank you. Thank you. I love it. You're just, you amaze me. You inspire me. Seriously. I mean that. So thank you. Thank you for being here and sharing that. I'm not going to cry. Okay. Miss Gigs, she's here. Giggles made it. Hold on, let me unmute you. All right, so Giggles started off. You had to mute your Facebook. All right, so Giggles started off. You had to mute your Facebook. All right, so
Mute my Facebook. Hold up. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, perfect.
You
Can
sure?
You hear me?
Yes. Okay.
Can you hear me?
I think my image is behind. Like I can hear you, but my image is very much behind. So this
You
is
look
so
great.
You look
great. You look great on our end. So just to give everybody a background, Giggles went through the process. She joined a free awakening ceremony. Never really done too much breath work before. Had a pretty profound experience, decided to then do the breathwork mini series, and then wanted to step into our Beyond Limits program. And of course, because she's a manifesting maniac, we just happened to be deciding that we were going to do some scholarships. And Giggles put in the application and she got the scholarship. So she joined our Beyond Limits program. And that is where there was all three of us, Scott and Simon and I, and it was an intensive 9-week course. And then, in the last 6 months decided to really hone in and, like I said, get specific and targeted in who we work with. And so I asked Giggles to come be a mentor for me because she is a master at the breath work and loves it, but she's a master of doing this work in her life. She actually, Epi talking about that fire heart, talking about that. And that was my passion, was like, don't just talk the talk, freaking walk the walk. And I will not tell you to do something I haven't done. I will not tell you to walk the walk unless I do it. And I swear to God, Giggles is such a big example of this. She walks the walk. So welcome, my dear.
Hello. I'm so excited to be here because today, out of all the days, this couldn't have come any more perfect, right? Because it's such an example of how far things can go if you put in the work. Like I've been waiting to move from the house where I am right now for a while. Since September, I sold my house, and I've been waiting for all to go through. Well, today I had a phone call of the estate agent where I put an application in for the flat to move into a flat, and they've accepted my application, and everything since then is just going so smoothly. Like I had some jewelry on eBay that I wanted to sell that hasn't been sold in forever. And today, 2 of them got sold just because I'm in such a lot of flow. I've noticed since, because my name in here is Giggles at the moment, but I've noticed Giggles is my inner child. And yesterday, this is part of the process that I've worked with, just realizing that Giggles is my inner child and working with her instead of putting her down and not allowing her to manifest herself and present herself in the ways that she is, has helped me step into Phoenix, because Phoenix is the higher self. Phoenix is my higher self. And ever since doing that yesterday, I've noticed how much I feel more in Phoenix energy rather than just giggles. So even coming here, I wasn't sure where to put my freaking names because I'm so in between that energy of balancing out. I feel like I'm balancing out everything at the moment. Like catching up on stepping into the empowered self, because I've been taking so many little steps ever since January, because in January I've applied for the scholarship and got it for the Beyond Limits. So ever since then I've been taking so many little steps and working with recognizing my default self, like Fireheart and EP were saying. Who is my default self? Who is the old self? And even now I can still see when one of them is showing up and which one of them is talking, who is presenting herself. It's like, but this program, it took a while for me to realize that everything that's around me is something that I've created for myself and that everything is me. So once I realized that I'm creating from within me, and every person that's presenting in front of me are me, and they're showing themselves in that way because I need to learn something for myself. Oh my God, it took me a while. But then once I realized that was it, like rockets up my posterior. I didn't say the other word, which I wanted to say, but yeah, that's it. I've noticed how much, like thinking back, it's not even been a year, because I've started the Beyond Limits in January. So it's not even been a year, and so many things have changed in my life. I'm moving house, but I'm not just moving house. I'm going to leave my children behind. They're going to stay with their dad. So I'm really focusing on working on myself since doing this. So it's a long process, but it's so good when you get into it, when you commit to yourself. Like committing to yourself is such an important thing, because Em is putting this program out and she's genius with it, right? It's fucking genius. But if you don't do the work, it doesn't work. That's for sure. So everybody that wants to join and do it, do the fucking work. That's all I gotta say. Do the fucking work, because that's where results show up. I think I've had enough of talking now. That is it. You can mute me now.
I never want to mute you. I mean, seriously, everybody that is watching right now, can you just put in the comments how much you love freaking giggles? I mean, that's what I told the girls in our first group coaching call. And I said, when you guys are in the default self and you're having the really dense emotions, just send a text or a message to Giggles, and I promise you, she will pull you right up. She'll pull you right up. She's right. Like, you have gotten so good at knowing and embodying who you are in all of those different phases, and not just fighting that inner child and trying to shove her down, but going, okay, like, you want to throw a fit today, throw a fit. We can do it. And then tomorrow, we're going to do something different. And the awareness that you have is just, it's amazing. And that's ultimately your biggest tool of how you're going to change your life is the awareness, because then you can make different choices. And I've watched you make some big leaps lately, and it's inspiring to me. I watch these women when they talk about this group of women. It's blown me away. And the thing for me is that I always felt uncomfortable around women my whole life. I felt more comfortable with men, and it's because I wasn't in my power. I was so insecure, and so then I attracted insecure women around me, and so all that does is lead to like fighting and negativity and whatever. And what I have just been so in awe about with this group is, like, once you just give women the space to be in their true authentic self and in their true power, holy moly world, watch out, because they are supportive, they are vulnerable, they are loving, they are strong, they're powerful. Like, I watch these women every week and I'm just like, they are freaking doing it. Like, they aren't just saying, okay, yeah, like, they are doing it in their lives. They're doing it, and that's what matters. You can go to all the workshops, you can do all the plant medicine, you can hire all the healers. If it's not making a difference in your life right now, it doesn't matter. None of that stuff matters if it's not making a difference in your life right now. So thank you, ladies, for being with me. I so love you both. I will see you guys in an hour, a little less than an hour, and I'm gonna let you guys go now. Love you. Love you. Love you. Love you. Love you. Love you. Okay. So let's see if I can do this. Let's see if I can really do this. Oh, it says I have to kick the guest. That sounds so harsh. Okay. So, any questions? Just a few more minutes because I didn't want to take this to an hour and a half, but it's a little over an hour right now. So, any questions, you can put them in the chat. There was a few that came up that were great questions. So, my gal Ninja, what's the difference between Beyond Limits and Authentic Life Blueprint? So, Beyond Limits was really a very broad course. So it helped people move through transformation. It helped people integrate a lot of these spiritual teachings into their life. But we had 3 coaches. It was Scott and I and Simon. And so they were learning freedom activation. They were learning mindset training. They were learning breathwork, but it wasn't targeted and specific. So on Authentic Life Blueprint, I work specifically right now with women. The really cool thing is my partner, my husband, Scott, also created his own course that's really targeted at healing because that's been his own hero's journey and what he's the most passionate about working with people. And it's not just healing physical issues, it's healing emotional issues as well. And so he has a course that works with both men and women, and we do them at the same time. And a lot of times, like we had last Saturday, we had the groups come together and we did a fun little group call with the groups together. I go on his calls, he comes on my calls a lot. So it really is both of us working together. It's been really amazing process. So if you're a guy watching this and you're interested in transformation, then I definitely invite you to reach out to me and I can connect you with Scott to find out more about his program. But the reason why I wanted to be specific with women is because that was my passion in my own journey. That was my hero's journey. And so it was important for me to help women in that process because that's what I did. And as I said, I've just been astounded at the community that's formed when you allow women to be in their power and you put them in a group and you watch them just grow and support each other and vulnerable and strong. And it's just been an amazing process to watch. So, let's see. How does the course correspond with a completely different time zone? What's the weekly, daily time commitment? So great questions. We do have one group coaching call once a week. I'm thinking about maybe adding another one. So there may be 2, but they are at 1 p.m. Eastern every week. So depending on your time, I have people from all over joining the group. I have one person who's in Australia that just joined the group. So I have people from all over the world joining. I understand and have respect for everybody has busy lives and things to do. That's why I have these discovery calls because you have to be willing to put yourself first. But again, I know that people have lives. So the time commitment is not a lot. It's just effective tools. So the breath work, you have a daily breath work meditation, then you have a weekly one. And then you have some action steps that it's not necessarily that they take a lot of time, but they're effective. They take a lot of energy and they take a lot of commitment and they're not time consumers, but they're effective because I realized I didn't want anyone to throw roadblocks in their way. I didn't want anyone to come in saying, I don't have time for this, blah, 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 because that too is just another story of the default self, putting everybody else first. Okay. And that's the biggest thing in the beginning is, listen, you have got to put your oxygen mask on first, especially as women. And I know in my own journey, I tend to put everyone else before myself. And that's also a distraction method. If I was busy taking care of everybody else, I didn't have to take a look in the mirror. I didn't have to look at my life and the things that weren't working because if I actually looked at it and my life was not working, it meant I had to change it. And that was really, really scary for me in the process. And so I understand that. I went through that. And that's exactly why I help women do what they do to move through that process and not have to move through it alone. Move through it with, like I said, a community of women that are doing the exact same thing. But you have to put the oxygen mask on first. Okay. So those are all really great questions. So what I invite you guys to do is go ahead and just schedule discovery call with me. I've already said taken up too much time, but book a discovery call. It's no pressure chat. We can go over logistics and we can figure out if you're a good fit to work with me, if I'm a good fit to work with you, and if I think that this program would help you and benefit you in your life. So as you can tell, I'm super passionate about it. This will be on my Facebook page as a live, so you can share it. You can share it from my page if you know anybody that you think benefits from this program. You can also go watch it on our YouTube channel. It will be recorded on there. And if you are on our email list, you'll get an email that will have a link to the recording. I also do, just so everybody knows, if you haven't practiced a lot of breath work and you're kind of new to breath work, every other Sunday, I do a free breath work awakening ceremony. So the registration link, if you're on our email list, I always send it out so you can register for it. If you're part of our Freedom Project Facebook group, I always have an updated link in there to register. You can reach out to me via messenger or email at mem@thefreedomproject222.com. You can reach out to me through email to get a registration link for those free awakening ceremonies. I decided to start doing 2 a month because they were filling up so fast. Last time I had 175 people register, and so I added another one. We're doing it twice a week, but your registration in quickly. Okay. Thank you all for being here today, spending this much time with me. Again, the recording will be available. Reach out to me. Schedule a discovery call. Let's have a chat and figure out if this is right for you. I love you all so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. See you guys.